Alrighty. Hey guys, it's Section of Violence here. We got a guest in the house today. We got a fun one today. We got a lot of strikers fighting tonight. It'll make it a lot easier to talk about since we have a striker in the house talking about the fights. We got Amin in the house. Let him introduce himself, but this man is a new star in the making coming out of Canada. Man, we need it too. We got this man can strike. I'll let him introduce himself though.
Yes, sir. Homegrown kickboxer. I have over 70 amateur Muay Thai fights. 5-2 as a pro. Amin Almelik, look out for me.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. It's gonna be a fun card. We got lots of strikers, lots of action on this card. I got a max play on this card. Biggest play of the second biggest play of the year. The first one, I'm not gonna go into the first one. The first one was what it was. Um, we got Daniel Marcos versus Aoriqileng. This is a pretty simple one to talk about. We got two strikers. Most of the card is strikers. Daniel Marcos, I'll start it off. We're gonna go me first, then Amin. Just keep it nice and simple. Yeah, Daniel Marcos, he's a fun striker. Keeps it on the outside, likes it pretty. Doesn't take too much risks, but he is dangerous. He could be very, very dangerous in the clinch. I think if Aori comes in and doesn't respect him, I feel like that's where he could find a KO. But I don't think Aori will do that. I think he knows that Daniel Marcos can strike. I think this is a fight that honestly is all about what the judges are looking at, the pressure or the accuracy of Marcos. I'm interested to see how you look at this fight, being a striker yourself. But for me, I'm on the Marcos side. I think this is how he wins this by decision.
Yeah, I have the exact same pick. I think Marcos by decision. But I think that's a great point what you said where Iori's going to come forward, look for damage, and that might be his path to victory. But I think Marcos is going to be too technical, move his feet, and with the accuracy, he'll win a decision.
Awesome. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen, but Aori's he's annoying, man. Like he will stay in your face. He can taunt you too to get in your head. I feel like he can make Marcos come out of his shell a little bit, taunting him, and I feel like he can counter him, make him pay. So it's really an interesting fight here. If Marcos stays disciplined, I feel like he can make it a really hard night for Aori. So for that reason, I'm going to stay with Marcos, but this could be a big live betting spot. If y'all are looking at that, this fight to play pre-bet, I would probably live bet this fight. Personally, I just it's too much of a maybe wishy-washy fight that could go on a lot of different directions. So after the first round, we should probably see how this fight's going to play out, but you never know. But moving on, we both seem to agree there. I'll let you start this one. We got Hyder Amil taking on Fernie Garcia. Should be a fun one. I'll let you go though.
Okay, so this one I don't really know too much about it, but I do know Hyder Mills the undefeated prospect 8-0. So when I don't know, that's where I'm going. 100% win ratio.
I like it. I like it. To be honest, man, Fernie is so easy to fade. I would love to join you. Fernie is very, very easy to fade. He makes poor fight IQ decisions constantly. His coaches almost want it more than him at times. It's like it's one of those things where it's like I can't fully get behind him. But because Hyder Amil, the way Hyder Amil fights, it's Hyder's so sloppy, but he can be effective at times. It's one of those things that like it's all circumstantial. I think Fernie wins just off the fact that I like him technically more, but Fernie always finds a way to lose, so I can understand a Hyder pick here. I'm gonna trust my gut like I did last week. I took a lot of dogs that a lot of people didn't. I'm gonna take Fernie here. Honestly, I on paper he should lose this, but I just feel like he knows he's fighting for his job. I think this is a spot where he can, finally maybe shut up some haters. I mean, the haters are very justified. He gives us not a lot to work with, but I'm gonna go with Fernie Garcia here. I think this is the only thing that makes sense. Just where Hyder fought in this contender series, I swear he had a few pints before the fight. Like
Yeah.
he had a lot of shaky moments with a guy that was on death's door on cardio, like with cardio. Hyder was tired too, but he just wasn't on death's door, and he could survive enough to where. And I just don't feel like Fernie's cardio has been the problem. It's just he gets out tacticked, and he just he's a bit green. And I just feel like people take advantage of him for that. I'm going to go Fernie here, but it's not a confident pick at all. We're on opposing sides here, but honestly, I understand why people would be taking Amil. And yeah, moving on. We got Zach Pauga versus Bogdan Guskov. I'll start here. It's kind of good I start here because these two are very not known. I'd say a lot of people like they remember Pauga from the Ultimate Fighter, but they don't truly know him. The guy's an athlete, man. He's a football player. He comes to push you against the fence. He has some nasty elbows. I think he learned that from Curtis Blades, his training partner. He trains the elevation too, so I don't really worry about his cardio. The one thing I do worry about with him is he's still not, in my opinion, a light heavyweight. I feel like he's a middleweight trying to be a heavyweight, trying to be a light heavyweight. It's better than a heavyweight, so I'm not going to be too mad about it. I think the guy he's fighting is perfect for, his style. Guskov is a loose cannon. You don't know what to expect with him as far as his striking. His grappling is non-existent, so you don't got to worry about that. He has about a few get-ups in him before he's dead tired. I am very interested to see this fight because Pauga isn't known for his takedowns, but he can grind a takedown if need be. I think he wins this fight, but it's such a mess of a fight that I would rather just avoid this fight. I did make a pre-bet on Pauga. I would arb it or get out of it if I could, but to be honest, I'm looking at the screen here and I just keep seeing Pauga and Guskov and just seeing the two. One looks like he's a light heavyweight, one does not. And frankly, I'm just going to have to stick with Pauga because that's what my gut's telling me, but would not be shocked to see a Guskov KO. Would not be shocked. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this fight.
I was going to take the Guskov KO, honestly. I thought Pauga was a guy who is very hittable and a guy who is undersized, so I'll take the KO there.
Yeah, frankly, I understand completely. Guskov, he isn't good, but he's a light heavyweight. And I feel like if he could just be athletic enough to survive some takedown offense, I feel like round 3 could get sticky for Guskov. I feel like he's gonna pull a I can't remember. There was a prospect who had bad cardio round 1 and he worked on it, and round 2 it was slightly better, and then round 3 he got finished. Maybe that happens. I don't know. I truly don't know with this fight. There's a lot of mystery. But yeah, I feel like we're again not on agreements with this fight, but honestly, I can understand why, because these are just mess of a fights. Like you can't really make heads or tails of. So honestly, just pass it all and move on to the more profitable fights, such as we got this fight coming up. We got Jeremiah Wells versus Max Griffin. It's your turn to start off, but man, I am pumped for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight for sure. But if I had to lean on a side, I'm taking the veteran, UFC veteran. I'm taking Max Griffin without a shadow of doubt. Very seasoned, faced higher level of competition than Wells, so I'm picking Griffin.
Yeah, makes sense. When I first saw this fight, I was on Griffin. Like my brain told me Griffin, but then I start watching this fight, like from a different angle, and I see that Griffin hasn't faced many grapplers other than maybe Neil Magny. And Neil is serviceable, as we can see. He's beat some good prospects, but the thing with Griffin, man, is he doesn't he's 38. It's tricky, man. Because Griffin, he trains at a gym where they really, really are big on cardio. Even though it's not amazing, he still pushes. And Wells, it's not going to be like a grind. Like, obviously, Wells could win a decision. I fully see that. But to be honest, I don't think Griffin's going to get submitted. The only time he's been finished, I'm pretty sure in the UFC, is by Colby by TKO. And Wells,
wow.
I honestly, I don't think Wells is going to be the one to do that, but I wouldn't be shocked again because the age, it worries me. 38 years old. It's tricky. He doesn't wear shots as well as he used to. I'm interested to see how this plays out. For the channel, I'm gonna side with. Man, this is another one where it's like I could flip a coin and I can make my pick. I can't make a heads or tails on this fight. Don't quote me on this prediction. This one. Right now, I'm leading Wells, but tomorrow I could go back to Griffin. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, that's my thing on this fight, man. I'm not going to speak too much about it because, frankly, it could be a lot of different outcomes. Maybe Wells finally gets fraud checked. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, moving on, we got Devin Clark versus Marcin Prachnio. If you got anything to say about this fight, I'd love to hear it. But I'm gonna start this one off. We got Devin Clark. I'll make it quick because, frankly, this isn't a fight that I want to spend too much of my time and life talking about. Devin Clark. He's got someone that in his corner that's very loud, very, very loud, and he yells at him like a football coach would. For that reason alone, I'm going to be taken down. I'm just joking. But honestly, this is a spot where I could see that coach being a huge factor because Prachnio's cardio is not good, and he doesn't like to push it. Clark can win it just by pushing a pace. Or he could cage push, doing what he normally does. He has some nasty cage work when he wants to do it, but I don't know if he'll do that. Prachnio's tricky, though. He will like to kick you from the outside like 1,000 times if he can and just win a decision. But I don't think it could go either way. This is another fight where it's a coin flip, could go either way. I'm going to go with Clark because Clark I trust more. But honestly, again, Prachnio is a veteran himself. He could just outpoint him to a decision. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I really don't have much to say.
I gotta agree. I gotta agree on Devin Clark decision. Like a lot of cage wrestling, a lot of grinding, grappling it out, and working hard. Maybe getting a submission finish, but I don't really see that. I think he gets a decision win here.
Yeah, that probably seems like the most likely outcome. A lot of cage pushing. I don't see this fight getting stopped, and if anyone gets stopped, I don't even know, to be honest. It could be like a random meme KO. Like I don't know. This fight's so weird to me. Like I have nothing like tremendously positive to say about it. So I'm gonna move on to something more positive. Women's. I mean, Loma Lookboonmee versus Bruna Brasil. Ah. Bruna Brasil, she's there. She's gonna be there. She's gonna throw some strikes. She's gonna keep it competitive on the feet, I think. But I just think Loma wants it more. I think she does the right thing. I think she's training in Vancouver now. Someone told me I'd have to look at that, but that's a decent move for her, I guess. I prefer her at I think she's at Syndicate. I can't remember. She was getting some work in with Tiger Muay Thai with the Hickman brothers as a wrestling coach. But I don't think she's going to have to worry about wrestling with someone like Bruna Brasil. Bruna Brasil likes to keep it on the feet, likes to cage push. This is a Loma fight. I think she's got the takedowns on Brasil. I think she's got a lot of advantages. The only thing she doesn't have an advantage in is his size, and I don't think Brasil is gonna be. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna be good enough to use that. So I actually accidentally went first, so you're gonna get two next time. But anyways, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Being a Muay Thai fighter yourself, Loma is a breath of fresh air to watch. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I definitely think Loma's here. Like she's used to being undersized, and like that's a regular disadvantage for her. So that's I don't want to say it's a non-factor, but it's something that she's just used to seeing. And I do like her timing, her footwork, and like she's pretty slick on the feet. So again, I'm not really trying to agree with you every single time here, but fuck, man, I'm gonna have to take Loma Lookboonmee here as well.
It's seeming like everyone's on Loma Lookboonmee this week because like I can't find a reason to take Brasil. Brasil doesn't seem like she wants to be in there sometimes. She just honestly is all talent, and well, even then the talent is like what are we talking about? It's like her kicks, or I don't really know what specifically stands out about her game to me, but honestly, I just think this is a Loma fight. I'm not thinking too much about it, other than the fact that it's women's MMA and a lot of things that don't normally happen happen, and I'm prepared for anything. So yeah, guys, I'm not going to speak too much about this, even though this is an interesting fight. Moving on, we'll let Amin take over on this fight. But we got actually change up. We have Balaji Oki instead of Demir Hadzovic, who has been out since 2008. No, he's been out for a while. He's fighting Timothy Cuamba. I can't say that name. You're on that. I'm not touching this. Well, let me hear
So,
your thoughts on this.
this is going on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're rocking with Tim Cuamba all the way. All the way. Timmy Cuamba is gonna win the fight. I think he's gonna have to use his jab. I think, to be honest though, I do think he has a path to victory because Balaji is a very powerful striker.
Yeah.
But Timmy is fast as fuck. Like at 45, and even specifically at that division, he is very fast. So I could see a world where he jabs and moves his feet, maybe kicks on the outside, and if he can avoid the big power early on, he might be able to point his way to a decision here. And that's definitely my opinion, given the fact that I know him.
Definitely got to respect that because this is a 50-50 fight if I've ever seen one. One has volume and, in my opinion, better technique. One has brute KO power and freak black edicts. I honestly don't know where to put my money. In fact, I would rather go use that money and go buy popcorn and drinks because this is a fight that you do not want to miss. Yeah, Balaji Oki is a powerhouse who just KO'd a big prospect in Salvador. No one thought he was going to win that fight. He pulls an upset. Cuambo's coming off a pretty good win in Vogel, and I know he's not gonna have to worry about grappling here, but that's a great win to have to show, levels this game. And I do think he is on that level to face someone like a Balaji Oki. And I do think this is gonna be a very competitive fight. Right now, this just got announced like today within the last few hours. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm leaning Oki just out of just a freak power, and the judges love those big moments. But I'm probably gonna end up switching by the end of the week, so I don't know. I'm not gonna give it. Like I said, don't quote me on this prediction, but yeah, it is what it is. But let's get into what the really, really important fight is of the night, the one that I got my eye on, and no, it is not my max play. Carlos Prates versus Trevin Giles. Man, come on, this is on you though, because again, I said it too. You get to start off again.
Come on, bro. Give me Anderson Silva in his prime. Every single time.
Yes,
Give
yes.
me prime. The guy who's looking like prime Anderson on the Contender Series. Give
I
me
like
Carlos
it.
Prates in spades by finish. I'm
I
drinking all the
couldn't
hype.
agree more. I want what do you like about Prates' striking? To be specific, I honestly can't believe how fluid he is.
Distance management, shot selection, and he picks his punches based on opponent's reaction. Right, like he's not just throwing a random punch. He's seeing where you're going and meeting you with the punch. It's really beautiful stuff to see, honestly.
Man, I couldn't agree more, bro. Like honestly, like Prates is just a demon. He is like the guy smokes cigarettes, drinks alcohol, Thai style. Like the guy, yeah, man. This guy right after his fight was out in the parking lot smoking cigarettes. Like this guy is a demon. He is someone you got to keep your eye out for. He is a nightmare, like his nickname is. He's a nightmare on the feet. When you get taken down, he knows what to do. He trains at the Fighting Nerd, so that's all you should really need to know about like his fight IQ. And like the team is on fire right now. Like you just have to put faith in that. I have faith in so many reasons, faith in him in so many reasons, for so many reasons, and I can't get enough of Carlos Prates. Like I almost wanted to put out a more get this all the money out on Prates, man.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't know. We'll see if I end up making a play about it. Like I don't know if I end up making a play. The lines are kind of crazy now, so I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing with this. But I love Prates here. This is a really solid spot. Yeah. Giles. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Giles. We're just been
Yeah.
glazing Carlos. Oh man, Giles, man. Honestly, he's there to win a paycheck. He's not there to finish. He's there to out tactic Carlos. And you're not gonna do that in a striking, and you're like, what do you take him down and like hump him? Because like his jiu-jitsu is good, but Prates is good at just getting back to his feet and swinging and banging again. Like he's just, I just feel like Giles' game isn't built for a, Magni. If he was fighting Magni, it'd be a different story. But you're fighting somebody that isn't durable, that can't really chain wrestle that well, and I just see this being a nightmare matchup for Trevin Giles. Yeah, perfect setup matchup. I'm on Carlos Prates here. Well, yeah, let's move on. We got another striker. We got Armin Petrosyan. I'll start this one off. We got Armin Petrosyan versus Rodolfo Vieira. Fight just got rebooked. Not just got rebooked, but has been rebooked. Petrosyan, man. Lee. This speaking of great striking, Petrosyan striking isn't, I wouldn't say like fluid and pretty, but he's effective and he knows how to, use his range. His timing is good. His good timing, good kicks. He's got good power to keep Vieira on his toes. And the one thing I like about him that really is going to be beneficial in this fight is his patience when he's taken down. He doesn't get panicked. He doesn't think like, "Oh God, like what am I going to do from here?" He knows to stay patient. Obviously, if Vieira gets him down, there's a chance he could get stalled out for the round. But his takedown defense is solid. Vieira's takedown defense isn't amazing, but the thing that is, he'll shoot a lot. And I'm interested if Armin gets tired as the fight goes on. Will Rodolfo also get tired, or will he Chris Curtis performance it and just keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting? So it's a fight for me that I'm staying far away from. I love Armin. I think this should be a spot where he wins, but honestly, I don't know because Vieira is definitely a very, very dangerous opponent. I'm just gonna trust in the cardio being better for Armin. I'm gonna probably take Armin here. I might even play him. Who knows? But my brain's telling me Armin. What about you? What do you think about this fight?
I want to take Armin. Being a striker, like, and stuff like that, like, I really do. I want to take him, but I do think Vieira is just a kryptonite matchup here. Like, just credentialed, high level jiu jitsu. Like, and like you said, like, Armin, he's a very talented striker, and he has very good kicks, knees, left hook, and good Muay Thai rhythm. But he doesn't do the best job avoiding the takedowns and the grappling exchanges, like with his footwork.
Yeah,
So I do see a world where Vieira can get him down, and if he gets him down, he's highly credentialed down there.
yeah. I think the biggest threats on the ground you got to worry about with Vieira are, I would say, his rear naked choke. His I don't think he jumps for guillotines too often, but I'd say, yeah, his back attacks. He doesn't really go for leg locks or arm bars. He's mainly for control, chokes. Like he likes chokes and arm control. He doesn't really go too crazy. I see a world where Vieira gets a sub, yeah, but I just I just think Armin is so good at like avoiding submissions and just staying alive, not even getting even close to getting subbed. I'm using the Kyle Bohio fight as my basis for this fight. Kyle, in my opinion, is a much smarter fighter, much more athletic. I think more athletic, younger, prime, and he had problems keeping Armin down. Armin is a problem, man. I think Armin wins this, but I do understand why you would be on Vieira for sure. But yeah, moving on, we got another meme fight. This one's definitely a meme fight. I don't think we have. Yeah, we have Clark and Prachnio. We have a few meme fights in the card. What's your thoughts on Michael Johnson versus Darius Flowers?
I'm taking Michael Johnson. Throwback Thursday. Michael Johnson by KO. Let's get it. Let's get it, bro.
I
Darius
definitely,
Flowers. He fought fucking Matthews, Jake Matthews, right? Was his only
yeah,
UFC fight?
yeah.
Or am I wrong about that?
He fought Jake Matthews, and he was, I believe, a weight class too small for that.
Yeah, yeah. That was at 170, right?
Yeah, I was at
Yeah,
170.
yeah, yeah. He did look considerably smaller. Jake Matthews was like dwarfing over him, but
Yeah.
he did leave openings. So I'm taking Michael Johnson. Fuck it.
Well, Flowers, man, like if you look at his career, all of his KOs are meme KOs. Like they're not like, wow, what a setup. Like it was all like, what was it? Is that the same guy? Oh my god, I mixed up the person. There's this guy on Octagon, Penez. For some reason, I thought he was the guy that got slam KO'd, and that's why I told people to take Bonner. Or no, maybe I missed. No, I'm thinking of someone completely different. I'm thinking of whatever. Yeah. Anyway, this guy has a slam KO injury from slam.
Yeah,
So like the
that's
guy
crazy.
whose shoulder got hurt. He's got a KO in the round one, another KO. So he's got some heat in his hands. This is one of those meme fights where Michael could lose to the worst but beat the best, and this is probably one of the worst. So I don't know. Like, what are we gonna do with this one? Like, honestly, for me, it's a pass. It's kind of obviously, if you put your money on this fight, you need to call betting helpline. Honestly, like this is a one where it's like maybe take the KO only, like where someone's gonna get KO'd. But I cannot bother with this fight. It is just pure entertainment. Michael Johnson is now almost 21-20 if he loses this fight.
Wow,
That is crazy to me.
that's an absurd
I'm
stat.
go- yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to go with Michael Johnson here out of principle, but man, I could be dead wrong here, and I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, moving on from this fight, we got Brad Tavares taking on Gregory RoboCop Rodrigues. So I'll go in this fight because this is one half of my free play. Gregory RoboCop is an actual machine. He does not stop coming forward when he knows you're tired, when he knows he has the upper hand. The only thing about RoboCop you got to worry about is his chin, and yeah, that's about it. Frankly, the guy's a freaking specimen as far as like his physique, his cardio. The guy's a problem, man. He's got ridiculously underrated grappling. No one ever thinks about his grappling when they think of him. They think about his pressure, power, punches. I think he's going to end the career of Brad Tavares personally. I think Brad Tavares is on the twilight of his career. I think he doesn't take damage as well as he used to. I think, I think Chris Weidman backing you up without, I think both of his legs were shot was the indicator I needed to see to know that maybe this isn't like I don't think this is a fight for you to win. And honestly, I don't think this is a smart fight to take at this stage in his career. RoboCop is vicious. He has bad intentions with everything he throws. He doesn't look to submit you. He looks to KO you. Um, yeah, man, I'm heavy on Rodriguez here. I think he's my lock of the card, to be honest. What about you? What do you? Well, one of my locks of the card. There's a few. What's your thoughts on this fight?
I'm also very heavily on the RoboCop side here, and it's like you said, he's kind of like only been losing by knockout when he loses, and like I don't even remember the last time Tavares knocked somebody out. Like with all due respect, like
Yeah, unfortunately.
so I'm taking Gregory Rodriguez.
Yeah, I really want to pick Tavares. I love this coach. I love the team. I love Extreme. It's a great squad of guys. But this is just a hard fight for him. This is a really uphill battle, like a big uphill battle fight for him. And I don't think he's going to even come close to this fight. I think maybe he pulls the upset, shocks the world, KOs him, proves the chin is truly a thing of art. Like he needs to like put that chin in a museum if he gets KO'd by Brad Tavares. Not saying that Brad can't crack, but that at this stage in his career, I don't think he should be KOing Gregory Rodriguez.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on the same page. We don't need to, beat a dead horse. Let's go with this another. I would say meme fight because Bryzcek is legit in my opinion. But we have Ihor Potieria versus Robert Bryzcek, KSW champ, I believe. I'm interested to see how he looks without the steroids. Because KSW they don't say you can't do that, so why wouldn't you? But yeah, I want to hear what you have to say about this since you get to start it off.
The steroid minus the steroid allegations is all I need to know. We're taking the Eeyore side all the way. I couldn't pronounce his last name. It is what it is. But if he's the clean fighter and has been the cleaner fighter recently, I'm riding with that. I think mentally Robert's going to be a little more fucked up, but that's obviously the only if that's the only detail I'm going by, that's how you know I don't know either of these guys. So
Yeah.
there's that too. Like,
Well, Bryzcek's a monster, man. He is. He's got really good like in and out, like he's like in and out footwork, and then he like explodes, and he's fun to watch. He brings the heat. He comes to the K for KO, but I've never seen him off the sauce, so I'm interested to see how he looks. And honestly, Ihor he looked good in that first. He always looks good in the first round. So that's why I actually took. I don't usually give out plays on here, but I took a little sprinkle on Ihor round one TKO plus 500. I don't see it happening because I think Bryzcek's defensively sound, but he's hittable, and I think Potieria. I know that's contradicting defensively sound and hittable. I know, but if you watch him fight, you'll understand what I mean. I think Poteiria is clean and he's very sharp with his counters. And I do think if Bryzcek comes in hot, he can pay for it early. But if this gets extended past round one, I am on Bryzcek heavy. Like I am live betting the crap out of him. Ehor falls off a cliff, bad, and he's only been at Extreme Couture, I think, a week or two. So I don't think that's enough time to really, get those hard rounds in with the guys, Strickland in your ear, all that. I don't think it's enough time. I think I think Ehor. I can never ever bet him. I can never tell a friend to bet him. I will tell them to bet round one KO if they give me this price always, because he is a very good fighter in round one. He could even submit Bryzcek in round. I don't know. I'm going by KO because of the power in his hands. But honestly, I'm gonna go with Bryzcek round two TKO. It's a system play. Peteria is like McKinney in a way but McKinney falls off harder for some. I don't know how, but McKinney falls off harder. But Ehor still falls off, and I think the style of Bryzcek is going to be too much for him. I'm going to go with Bryzcek here, but I can see a KO Ehor round one. So it's one of those fights where I'd take not go the distance and just enjoy with popcorn. But yeah, moving on. I I think I went first on this one. No, you went first on this one. I
yeah,
think. Yeah, so I'm gonna go first on this one. We got Dan Ige. This is a fun fight. We got Dan Ige versus Andre Touchy Fili. Always got to say that nickname. It's one of the best ones in the game.
oh,
Man, I like me some Dan Ige, man. I know he let me down huge against Bryce, but he's got a great corner. He's got a great team behind him, just like Andre. I know both coaches. It's kind of funny. I've gotten to this point. So it's like I was just talking with Danny not too long ago. So it's like I can't say too much. All I'm gonna say is I think Fili's chin is always a liability. I feel like Ige's power is always something you have to watch out for. And if I'm any good at math, I'm gonna take Ige KO. I don't know if it's still the price I got it at plus 300, something like that. But with Fili and KO power, it's always a recipe for disaster, and I'm gonna take that chance. So I'm on Ige here just for like landing the better shots, maybe defending the wrestling. If Fili wrestled, this could be an easy fight for him. But I'm gonna go with Dan Ige here. I think this is a setup spot for him, not from the UFC, but I think this is a good spot for him to get a comeback win. What's your thoughts on it, though? I'm interested to hear.
I'll take the same pick in Dan Ige, but I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I think he's gonna win a decision. I do think Feely, while he is hittable and a little bit defensively irresponsible, he's also very technically sound on the outside, and he's a high-level fighter. So I don't think he's going to get hit by anything super clean. But I think Dan Ige is going to be able to get on the inside of him, score some points, and make it dirty and win the fight that way.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. My worry is if it goes to a decision, I would be more actually likely to taking Philly because Philly's very good at stealing rounds, stealing judges' persuasion. He's very lots of things going out there, lots of looks, lots of feints, lots of good stuff that like the corner is also going to be huge because whereas Nick Six good for like motivation and I like Philly's corner because they're more like hype men. Like they can really like persuade the judges and especially in an apex. So I am on Ige. And if he does, if I do see a decision win, it's from the early work he does. Maybe landing a KO, almost winning a 10-8 round, like maybe winning a slightly one of the other rounds. That's where I see them winning a decision. But I definitely see this fight being entertaining. I don't think this is going to be a boring snooze fest. There are some fights that could be that way, but I feel like this card's pretty built for like lots of violence. Like this is going to be a fun card. But yeah, let's get on to the main event, and I'll give you guys my top 5 most confident picks. He'll give his top 5 most confident picks, and we'll wrap it up. I got Jack Hermansson taking on Joe Pyfer as our main event. Honestly, my opinion on the main event is Pyfer's carrying it. Hermansson should never be allowed in the main event again, in my opinion. But it's only because Pyfer brings the action, man, and he's entertaining. And I don't think you could have a main event with Jack Hermansson in it with another grappler. I feel like you need someone that would really put that danger threat out there. Joe Pyfer is that guy right now. He is very untested in the UFC, unfortunately. So I don't truly know how good he is. The one thing I will say is he is very, very highly touted. His power is ridiculous. I feel like he has nice hands, decent hands. I wouldn't say too much about it. I was getting a little worried, not gonna lie, with the calf kicks he was getting eaten, and Hermansson knows how to throw calf kicks. I could see a huge fraud check here. I don't know. I truly don't know. All I know is one guy's down to scrap and get ugly. One guy is not. He likes it clean, likes it technical. I mean, Hermansson can grind, and he's a dog. He can be a dog, but I just feel like Pyfer, I don't want to use the child abuse as like a positive thing, but we just saw Strickland become a
What?
champ. We just saw Strickland become a champion.
What?
We just saw Strickland become a champion. Mentally, I feel like that gives you a little bit of an edge, knowing that you're just a little not there. I feel like you can push a little harder. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch, but I'm gonna go with Joe Pyfer here. Not because of just that, because I think he's gonna hurt him. I think Hermansson does not deal well with power, and I feel like Pyfer's power is gonna be too much for him. Given all the other stuff, I just think that is like a little sprinkle add-on to why I'm taking him. But yeah, I'm interested to hear your take on this fight. I'm sure that we'll get clipped somewhere, and I might
Sure.
get canceled. No, I'm just joking. I doubt it. But I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it.
You just went full John Anik for a second there. Eh? The John Anik custody moment there. But on the fight, honestly, if I had to pick, I'm picking Joe Pyfer as well. He is very highly touted, hype, machines behind him. I think that's for a reason. He does hit hard, but I think with this specific matchup, he has the camp, like the camp he's from with Sean Brady and all these guys. I think these guys give him a better look than Hermansson does on a regular basis. So I think he's well equipped to anti-wrestle and use the boxing effectively. Calf kicks might be an issue, but that's going to have to happen over time. And if he boxes early, he might get him out of there.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this fight plays out. This is a really big fight in the middleweight division. My only worry is it is the middleweight division, and it gets pretty scary at times as far as fight IQ. As far as look at the main event last week. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, that was hard to watch. But yeah, let's just wrap it up here quick. We got about 5 picks. You got number 1, who you're most confident is, and then we'll go down the list. Number 5. Obviously, we don't need to get everybody, but let's just get 5. I'll go first. Keep it quick. I already have mine laid out. My number 1 pick of the card. Oki's opponent pulled out, so it was Oki. So right now, I'm gonna have to say Prates is my number 1 pick so far. I'd say number 2, Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. Number 3, I'd have to say Pyfer. Number 4, I would have to say Loma Lookboonmee. And number 5, I would have to say, this is where it's going to get tricky. Da, 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 da. This is where it's gonna get a little hard to find a pick. I'm gonna have to go with this is hard. I'm gonna go with Robert Bryzcek. And honestly, that's a very volatile fifth one, but whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go Robert Bryzcek. Alrighty, what's your top five?
All right, I'm gonna go Dan Ige.
Number one, Dan Ige.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, does it have to be like most confident
Yeah,
first?
in
Like
order. It's
what?
in order.
Oh Lord have mercy. So Carlos Prates first then, for sure.
Okay. So we
And
agree
then
on that.
I'll take Joe Pyfer second.
Okay, that's a little different than me.
Lord have mercy. Dan Ige.
Okay.
I'll take RoboCop.
RoboCop.
And then fifth, it'll be Twilight Timmy Cuamba because he actually just fought and won by knockout last
Let's
week. So he'll
go.
ride the momentum and we'll take Timmy Cuamba. Fuck it.
Alrighty, I gotta respect it, bro. That's some loyalty right there. You gotta respect it. Personally, when I don't have I'm not even gonna say it, but if I don't think someone I know is gonna win, personally, me, I say very calmly, I will not speak about this fight. And moving on. It seems to get me out of trouble enough times. But yeah. All right, yeah, brother. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm gonna be making this more a regular thing. Make you a regular guest. You've been awesome. We got some laughs. Organic is, in my opinion, the best. All these people, recording and scripts, and I don't know how they try to do it, but I feel like this is the only way to do it. I appreciate you, brother, helping make this next step in my transition with this business I've built. I appreciate you, brother, and I hope you have a good night, and I hope you had a fun time.
Oh my god, I loved it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on, brother. I'll see
Alrighty,
you this
brother.
weekend.
Where can they get you? Where can they find you if they're looking for you, brother?
Follow me on Instagram, man. Sweet Dreams
Alrighty,
_
brother.
MMA.
Check it out. Check
Appreciate
him
it.
out there, brother, and check him out. He's gonna be fighting anytime now. He's a very active fighter, so you're gonna be seeing lots of him. He's gonna be taking a probably the next best prospect in Canada. He's probably gonna fight him on 2 days' notice and beat him in his own backyard. This guy's game as it comes. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time. We're out.